Hi learners, you're highly welcome to English with Teacher Dixon. Let's continue our series on stress pattern. Remember, stress has to do with the loudness or audibility given to a particular syllable during the pronunciation of a word. So, what are the patterns of stress we have in English language? Here we consider stress pattern when it comes to two syllabic words. So today we want to delve into compound words. What are the stress patterns when it comes to compound words? Then we will also consider different word classes, that is different parts of speech. So let's look into how we place stress when it comes to a combination of words. What are compound words? Compound words are those words formed by the addition of two lexical items together. So it can be lexical items of different word classes. It can be a noun and a noun, can be a noun and a verb, can be an adjective and a noun, and so on. So when words are formed through the combination of different words, where do we place the stress? That is, which word do we lay emphasis on? Is it the first word or the second word? That is what we want to consider in this lesson. So I implore you to pay apt attention. Let's get into it. Now let's consider the first compound words. Here we have noun plus noun compounds. That's to say, these compound words are formed with the addition of two nouns to make a word. All right. So the first one is rainbow, rain boots. First one is rain boots. In rain boot, we have the stress on the first syllable or the first word. So here we have the stress on the first word, which is rain. So when you say rain, it must be more audible than boots. Again, we have football, sunrise, bedroom. So when we have compound words that are formed by the addition of two nouns, the stress must be on the first word. So note that these are compound words. They are regarded as one word, though they are formed through the addition of two words. So the different words are only here to help us to realize which one should be pronounced louder than the other. So for this combination, we have the stress on rain. So we have rain boot, football, sunrise, bedroom. Now let's consider adjective plus noun compounds. Compound words formed by the addition of an adjective to a noun. So when we have this kind of combination, the stress is normally on the adjective. That is the first word. Now we have greenhouse, high school, red head, blackboard. Greenhouse, high school, red head, blackboard. All these compound words formed by the addition of an adjective to a noun are regarded as nouns. They are naming words. We use them to name something. We use them to name items. So we have greenhouse, high school, red head, and blackboard. But they are formed by the combination of adjective. For instance, green, and then noun, house, high, adjective, school, noun, red, adjective, head, noun, black, adjective, board, noun. All right, so for adjective plus noun compounds, we have the stress on the first syllable, just like noun plus noun compounds. All right, so let us also consider verb plus participle compounds. Participles are often adjectives, verbal adjectives. So we use this in combination with verb to form a compound word. For instance, well known, well known. So in this case, the stress is on the second word in the compound. So we have well, unstressed, and then known, stressed. We have drop out, take off, kick off. And I would like to lay emphasis on this particular group of words. Whenever you have these phrasal verbs, there's a combination, this kind of combination beginning with a verb and then a preposition combined. Note that the stress must be on the second word, which is the preposition. Any combination of any phrasal verb you have has its stress on the second word and not really the verb. So this is actually an exception from the normal rule of stress when it comes to sentence stress, where you place the stress on the content words. Verb is actually a content word, whereas preposition is not a content word, rather a function word. But when it comes to a combination in terms of phrasal verbs, we have the stress on the preposition rather than the verb. So this is not drop out, but drop out. This is not take off, but take off. This is not kick out, but kick out. Right. So when you have this kind of combination, note that the stress is on the second word. That's why we have them written with capital letters. With capital letters. Again, let's look at compound verbs. Compound verbs. Here, you stress, when it comes to compound verbs, you stress the second word. For instance, to understand. Understand is a compound verb here. So, you don't stress under, rather on. The stress is on stand. You have understand. Overcome. Outdo. So, in this case, the stress is on the second part of the compound word. To understand, to overcome, to outdo. Moreover, we have compound adjectives. This particular combination forms adjectives. We have bad and tempered combined. Tempered is an adjective, bad is an adjective. When they are combined, they form one adjective, bad tempered. So, the stress is on tem, which is the second word, and then the first syllable of the second word in that compound word. So, bad tempered, old fashioned, ill mannered, bad tempered, old fashioned, ill mannered. So, that is how we place the stress when it comes to compound adjectives. These three function as descriptive words. That's why we call them compound adjectives. Moreover, let's consider compound numbers. When we combine numbers together, where do we place the stress? The stress is normally on the second part. For instance, 22, 65, 34. Can name them. 21, 25, 28. So the stress is on the second number and not really the first number. So this is all considering stress pattern when it comes to compound words. Remember, we are looking at rules of stress pattern in English language in this particular series. So we are going to consider other ones subsequently. Do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop your comments. If you have any question, I'd like to take your question. Thank you for watching. I remain your very own Teacher Dixon.